We are now entering the first eye wall of Hurricane Florence.
The waves are unbelievable. 10, 15, 20-foot waves.
Rushing water overtaking the town of New Bern.
We have at least knee-deep water.
Lumberton, North Carolina is still trying to recover from a hurricane 2 years ago, now dealing with Florence and trying to shield itself.
Wind and rain really starting to strengthen.
Relentless. It just has not let up at any point.
We're seeing trees fly across the roadway.
A tree had fallen on the back of a home and literally crushed part of a house.
Very heavy wind gusts, some of these in excess of 100 miles an hour.
Watch as this gas station canopy is just ripped to the ground.
The awning was ripped off. The gas pumps were tossed around like toys.
The storm has knocked out power to nearly 1 million homes and businesses.
There were limbs flying everywhere. We heard power lines breaking, transformers blowing.
We actually saw a few transformers blow.
There are more than 700 people inside of this shelter.
It breaks my heart. It really does.
October the 8th will be 2 years since Matthew.
The water levels now are up even more than Matthew.
We hadn't repaired from the last one. We were going to do this all over again. We hadn't been made whole from the first storm.
Did anyone get any help after that?
It doesn't seem like it. There's still so many people hurting.
What's it like to get hit twice?
It's stressful, it's hard, it takes you through a depression stage.
What has it been like since Florence came through?
Hell.
We did not get recovery money, so now we really don't know what we're going to do.
What do you say to those people who thought help would come 2 years ago, still haven't gotten it, and got hit again? Why should they trust that the state's going to come help them this time when they couldn't help them in Matthew?
You wonder after a while, is anybody listening and does anybody care?
I'm leaving. I don't know where I'll go, but I'm not staying here.
We're on Main Street in Fair Bluff, which was hit very hard by Hurricane Matthew in 2016. We saw feet of water on Main Street. Well, take a look again at Main Street again this time. Well, it's the exact same picture. You can see the water just flowing around that bend by the street there. If you look at the street signs, you can get a sense for just how high up this water is a second time around. But if you swing back around over here on the other side of me, we're standing on dry ground right in front of City Hall, which again was spared by the floodwaters, both in Matthew and again this time around in Hurricane Florence. So this is downtown Fair Bluff.
Downtown Fair Bluff.
And we're on a boat because we're going through how much water right now?
I say right now we're in a good 7 to 8 foot of water.
When you heard that the storm was coming again, what was the first thought that went through your mind?
We hadn't repaired from the last one. We were going to do this all over again. We hadn't been made whole from the first storm. Did not get recovery money, so now we really don't know what we're going to do. We never get, I mean, look at the town. No one was made whole. We failed the citizens by not helping them.
Can Fair Bluff survive this?
I doubt it. I don't see any way we can survive. There was no recovery the first time. We did not get the assistance that we pleaded for. I think we'll look at the community that used to be Fair Bluff.
The scene right over your shoulder is 3-4 foot of water down Main Street again.
Yes, sir.
What's it like to look and see that a second time?
It's heartbreaking, and they will probably get started in November with the process of rebuilding and demoing and elevating.
It's got to hurt. I mean, it shouldn't have taken 2 years to get to that point in the first place.
No, sir. It's been a long period. No, sir. It should not have took that long to get things moving forward.
What would you say to the folks in Raleigh who have the power to speed up the help this time? What would you tell them?
I would tell them that they need to take another avenue of approach, and that the people down here are poor people and they need help as quick as they can get it.
We're on Main Street in Fair Bluff, a place we've shown you many times before. In fact, less than a week ago, we were in a boat floating right over this spot. But now it looks worse than ever before, even after it did following Hurricane Matthew. Take a look. Now you have businesses with windows totally shattered. There's mud caked in the street, and look, if you look closely, you can see the high water line from where the water washed down this street for the second time in less than 2 years.
What Matthew did, Florence just gave us the TKO, I'm afraid. We got the left hook from Matthew and the right cross from Florence.
I mean, realistically, do you think there's going to be the town of Fair Bluff as it once was?
Not as it once was. A lot of us still love Fair Bluff, but we don't know what our future is. You know, you wonder after a while, is anybody listening and does anybody care? We need help. Are we going to get help? We need it. What does it take? You know, how many hurricanes do we have to have?
Yeah, I mean, the whole Hurricane Matthew thing is still unresolved here.
Then wham, this is again now.
The word they like to use, catastrophic. Yeah, this is catastrophic.
So the question is, what's going to happen now with these people? Yeah, I mean, the whole Hurricane Matthew thing is still unresolved here.
Then wham, this is again now.
The word they like to use, catastrophic. Yeah, this is catastrophic.
So the question is, what's going to happen now with these people?
We're in Lumberton right now. Take a look. This is Hyde Park Baptist Church. It's one of the staging grounds for the Baptist men. Right now they're doing a drive-through where people can stop in and get a hot meal. And take a look. This is staggering. The traffic to get that hot meal, which could be one of just a few for people here in Lumberton since the storm, stretches way down the street. We're still driving now. We're blocks away from where the pickup line is at the Baptist church to get that meal. And look, the cars are still waiting in the line. You can tell it's so long even that police have to direct traffic.
Well, they say
on this side
is terrible. Right there at the bridge on 710.
Yeah.
But we ain't been that way.
You want to check it out?
We'll do it.
All right. So the question is, you know, what's going to happen now with these people? I mean, the whole Hurricane Matthew thing is still unresolved here.
So the people who live here, they got hit in Matthew 2 years ago. They're going to get hit again.
They got hit in Matthew. Most of them have not rebuilt yet. Most of them have not completed the buyout process yet. And here we go again.
So if I'm a victim of Hurricane Matthew and I've been waiting for 2 years, why should I think that the state's going to come and help me any faster after Florence?
To be honest with you, if I was a victim of Hurricane Matthew, I don't know that I would think they would come any faster. You know, we're putting pressure. I mean, you know, the governor calls it political theater, but, you know, I don't think there's anything entertaining about people being out of their homes for over a year, or people not being reimbursed for their loss for over a year.
The flooding has started to recede in some areas, but other places still have days before they see the water go down, as much as up to a week. Here's why. Let's take a look right here. This is the Lumber River. We're in Robeson County, right outside of Pembroke, near Lumberton. You see, it's almost all the way up to this bridge, and if you turn around here and look out that way, there are houses back there. You can see people standing.
me, it was more or less like a dam broke loose somewhere. It didn't, because I've been here for years, it didn't seem like rainwater would rise that fast.
When you look at all this, I mean, the destruction, the damage to your house, to your community, what do you think about all that?
It's just something like the word they like to use, catastrophic. Yeah, this is catastrophic, really. And they called Matthew the 500-year flood. I reckon the good Lord just showed people you didn't have to wait 500 years to get another.
What's it like to have gone through this not once but twice now?
Well, I thought I was a strong woman, then wham, this is again now.
When you look around, I mean, everything's destroyed again.
Yeah.
What does it make you?
Sad. More now than then.
Are you afraid that the second storm to hit so close together may be the end of this church?
I can't truly say. It may be the end of me.
I lost my home, I lost my work vehicle, and I lost my brother's handicap van.
We had 13 feet of storm surge.
Homes that were repaired, that people got built back in Matthew, got hit again in Florence.
Why should they trust the state to come in and help them quickly this time?
I lost my home, I lost my work vehicle, and I lost my brother's handicap van.
We had 13 feet of storm surge.
Homes that were repaired, that people got built back in Matthew, got hit again in Florence.
Why should they trust the state to come in and help them quickly this time?
Really scared because the water's rising really high, and I'm afraid that we're not going to be able to get out in time.
I mean, you lost a lot in Matthew.
I lost my home, I lost my work vehicle, and I lost my brother's handicap van.
You have still been waiting for help from Hurricane Matthew.
Yes, sir. I applied for a buyout in February of 2017, and we were approved in August of 2017, but we haven't heard anything since then. There's lots of people around here who are still in the same situation.
It hurts the first time, it's got to hurt even more this time.
Absolutely, absolutely. My heart hurts for everybody who is suffering and dealing with this, you know, because I know what it's like.
Did you all get damaged?
So horrible. This is so horrible. How long have you lived? And to see people's entire lives, possessions out here on the street completely flooded and ruined, it really shows that we've got a big job ahead to make sure that we try to help people.
We've been all over eastern North Carolina like you have the last couple of weeks, and we're hearing from people who still hadn't recovered from Hurricane Matthew, hit again by Florence. If I'm those people, why should they trust that the state's going to come help them this time when they couldn't help them in Matthew?
Well, we put about $750 million out for Matthew. A lot of homes that were repaired or that people got built back in Matthew got hit again in Florence. I think now, with our Department of Emergency Management having built up a Community Development Block Grant Disaster Relief Fund staff that it can put into action, with our commitment from FEMA, and with the fact that this storm is so widespread, there are hundreds of thousands of people who are going to need help.
We had over 30 inches of rain coming in from Florence. We had 13 feet of storm surge. We had Category 1 hurricane winds, and so that's pretty substantial. I call it a triple threat.
What do you say to those people who thought help would come 2 years ago, still haven't gotten and got hit again?
We are working closely with our federal partners. First of all, don't despair. Those projects are still good. We're going to be working on those projects aggressively because one of the things that the governor told me is he wants us to have a recovery that's just as aggressive as the response.
Why should they trust the state to come in and help them quickly this time?
And I'm just telling you, this is how it was. And so we're about to the spot now to where we think we've got a structure in place where any additional funding gets dropped in, we'll be able to take that funding, get it out to the folks, as well as the funding that we still have from Matthew. We think that we have a better understanding of how CDBG-DR works because we were new to it, and I think that we're going to be able to really put some speed to it now, as much speed as can be applied to a program like
And they like call FEMA. That's what we did.
It's heartbreaking.
But FEMA's denied applications or whatever, so who's supposed to fix this house?
They need to take another avenue of approach.
After a while you say, Lord, how long?
It's just been devastating here for some people.
And nobody seems to care.
Because they have lost everything.
The people down here are poor people.
We don't have much of a voice.
And they need help as quick as they can get it.
I'm leaving. I don't know where I'll go, but I'm not staying here.
God put me here, and I've got to stay for the children.